So, hello again. I said the last time I was reading this that I tend to go wherever the spirit leads me with these things. A while back, Cyril Loughlin, a friend of mine, was saying to me, "Why don't you include more Irish poets?" Well, I've done Derek Mahon and Monsignor Patrick Hartigan or John O'Brien, the author of Around the Bory Log. Yeah, he could be considered Irish. I know what Cyril was getting at, though. He was talking about our modern poets. And he was thinking Seamus Heaney, but I don't know. I just get the feeling Heaney's been done to death lately. So my favourite of the modern Irish poets is, of course, Patrick Kavanagh. And this takes me back to 2016 when the class of our Leaving Cert class in school got together to celebrate 50 years of having left school. It was a night organised by three very enterprising men, Raymond, Jerry and John, and my goodness, they put a lot of work into it, and it was a real night to remember. But this piece was my contribution, because looking around, I was looking at this bunch of men, and I was thinking, well, first of all, we're all alive. Secondly, everyone had achieved a kind of success in their lives and in their careers. And the other thing was, they were grounded men, and none of them had sold out. None of them had sold their souls to the Mephistopheles of mediocrity. Yeah, I like alliteration, don't I? So I chose this piece by Kavanagh because he's talking here about selling your soul. And he uses the image of a horse for the soul. And he calls the piece Pegasus, which, of course, is the flying horse of Greek mythology. I'm very fond of Kavanagh, and I love I love his lyricism, and it's tempered kind of by a grittiness, which is like the gritty soil of Monaghan where he grew up, and I also love the classical allusions. So, Pegasus. My soul was an old horse, offered for sale in 20 fairs. I offered him to the church. The buyers were little men who feared his unusual airs. One said, "Let him remain unbid in the wind and rain and hunger of sin, and we'll get him, with the winkers thrown in for nothing." Then the men of state looked at what I'd brought for stale. One minister, wondering if another horse body would fit the tale that he'd kept for sentiment, the relic of his own soul, said, "I will graze him in lieu of his labour." I lent him for a week or more, and he came back a bundle of bones, starved, overworked, and in despair. I nursed him on the roadside grass to shape him for another fare. I lowered my price. I stood him where the broken-winded spavined stand, and crooked shopkeepers said that he might do a season in the land, but not for high-paid work in towns. He'd do a tinker, possibly. I begged, "Oh, make some offer now. A soul is a poor man's tragedy. He'll draw your dungiest cart," I said. "Show you shortcuts to mass, teach weather lore, at night collect bad debts from poor men's grass." And they would not. Where the tinkers quarrel, I went down with my horse, my soul, I cried, "Who will bid me half a crown?" From their rowdy bargaining, not one turned. "Soul," I prayed, "I have hawked you through the world of church and state and meanest trade. But this evening, halter off. Never again will it go on. On the south side of ditches there is grazing of the sun. No more haggling with the world." As I said these words, he grew wings upon his back. Now I may ride him every land my imagination knew. So today with Kavanagh, two for the price of one. On Raglan Road on an autumn day, I saw her first and knew that her black hair would weave a snare that I might one day rue. I saw the danger, yet I passed along the enchanted way, and I said, "Let grief be a fallen leaf at the dawning of the day." On Grafton Street in November we tripped lightly along the ledge of the deep ravine where can be seen the worth of passion's pledge. The Queen of Hearts still making tarts, and I not making hay. Oh, I love too much, and by such is happiness thrown away. I gave her gifts of the mind, I gave her the secret sign that's known to the artist who has loved the true God of sound and stone and word and tint. I did not stint, for I gave her poems to say, with her own name there, and her own dark hair, like clouds over fields of May. On a quiet street where old ghosts meet, I see her walking now away from me so hurriedly. My reason must allow that I had wooed, not as I should, a creature made of clay. When the angel woos the clay, he'd lose his wings at the dawn of day. Stay safe, everybody. Peace. God bless.